Anna, for that introduction. I'm super excited to be here today, having been invited by my friend Peter. It's my first time to be here, and I can see the vibrancy, the warmth of the group, and especially the poem. I loved that. Wow, it's beautiful. Clearly, it sets the tone that we are born to be successful, to be, and the light shines as we live on. That is why we live our dreams. Okay, so today's topic, as you've just been told, I want to display a few things so that I can just go ahead and start off. All right. Okay, there's something. Okay, there's one thing I haven't said is that I'm an author of a book that is From Employment to a Side Hustle to a Business Empire, and Where You Start. And this is a book that actually a starting point for those who are leaving employment or who plan to leave employment to start their own businesses. Because I bridge between the two, the business world and the career world, and that's why this topic today is very, very important. That is essential skills for building resilience in career and entrepreneurial success. So in today's presentation, we are going to explore the essential skills for building the resilience, and the entrepreneurial success, and we'll navigate into the key traits and strategies that empower you to navigate the challenges and adapt to change and thrive. So there are three things. Navigate the challenges, because remember, resilience comes to counter those challenges. And how do you actually adopt or work with the changes that are coming through, whether it's environmental, whether it's within your career, in where you work, with your employer, and how do you eventually thrive in that environment? Because remember, if we are living our dreams, we must thrive. That's the bottom line. But before we start, perhaps I need to ask a question, and maybe you can type that in the comment section. Which is a key challenge that you have faced in your career or in your entrepreneurial journey that taught you an important lesson about resilience? Maybe you can start by that. You can type in the chat box, what was that challenge that taught you something about resilience? You learned something. Remember, challenges are here to educate us. You can type a few in the comment section so that it can actually give us the direction of this particular conversation today. COVID. Yes, during COVID time, Mureithi says, definitely that actually was a huge challenge, and somehow he managed to navigate and find, learn some lessons. Any other comments? Let's have 2 or 3 more. Which challenge have you faced? Either in your career, if you're employed, or if you're an entrepreneur, I'm sure there is a lot that you're facing and you have faced along the way. In 1998, straight out of employment, I used the bulk of my capital to pay rent, leaving me with zero resources to run my actual business. That's a huge, huge lesson when it comes to money for our own use and money for the business. How do we demarcate the two? And I'm sure David learned a huge lesson there. If it's 1998 and now we are several years later, which is almost 20-something years, beautiful lessons learned there. Eric says, watu wanasema hawana pesa. There is always people, let me tell you, as an entrepreneur, there are people who will always say, I don't have the money, but they want your services. That is very common. But there is a way you actually, I'm sure Eric has learned a way of communicating the value that he's offering for that person to be able to purchase the services or the products. Errors of commission versus omission and workstations. At workstation, yes, sometimes you forget to do something, right? Maybe it's a process and somehow you lose the client in the process. That is what Othiambo Olale is saying. Piers Anunda, non-response from clients. When you send a proposal, sometimes clients don't even acknowledge that they have received leave alone giving any response, whether negative or positive. Yeah, those passive silent. But one thing I've learned, Piers, is that some of those people, as they digest the message that you have put in that proposal, they come back with a big bang. And sometimes they even pay that amount 100%. I have had clients who've come 2 years later, and somehow they came in and we started off. It took them 2 years actually to think through. So I always say I planted a seed by one having that conversation with that person who said no, or even that person who said yes, and I even sent a proposal, which is a second step, but they didn't respond. You've planted two seeds there. So always keep them in your database and make sure that any messages, free messages that are coming through, they're actually receiving those messages and they're able now to digest what was in the proposal much better, and they will eventually come through. Just keep the conversation going. And there are ways that actually at Tamara Capital we teach people how to do the 7 iterations, because a minimum of 7 iterations, usually 80% of your potential clients will sign up. So how do you do the 7 conversations over a period of time to ensure that this person comes back? And one of the forums like this one, Live Your Dreams, is one of the forums where you can make them come back. Just keep inviting them to this particular forum. Karen Muka, emerging technology and changes to risk landscape in the profession. Yeah, technology it's huge, especially nowadays. It's AI now. It's not just the technology that we used to have, or cyber and security and all that, websites and all that. We have moved a notch higher, and there's a lot that's going on. But it's exciting if you actually embrace technology, because you must embrace technology to be able to do your business, especially if you're self-employed. And even in your career, once you're employed in a corporate, embrace technology, you see yourself even thriving in that environment. Objections. Sometimes I take these objections as a beautiful challenge, because if somebody is actually asking questions, even giving me some feedback, that means they are interested in a way. There's a degree of interest in what I'm offering, and that is why they're actually, coming up with some points that sometimes sound like negative, but they're very helpful for you as an entrepreneur. The worst person is the one that just goes silent forever. Even you as an entrepreneur, you don't even know where to start. Anthony Mugo says, when a trusted customer refused to pay for products supplied. Oh, wow. So that one maybe is the contracting part, the contract. How was it? How did it look like? Was there even a contract in the first place? So Anthony, maybe some of the programs that we offer from ILO, which is a Start and Improve Your Business, could be essential for helping you in your pricing, in your costing, and so on. Maurice Omondi, I started a cereal business during COVID and it didn't pick up. I learned the importance of patience. Very, very great. Patience. As an entrepreneur, patience is so key, right? In many ways, sometimes you lose some money, but sometimes I say that money that I think I'm losing, it's not losing. I'm actually planting a seed and it will come multiplied several times. Once I start now thriving. Remember, there's always a thriving stage, which is the last stage in your process. Lucy Kiburi says, cash flow issues when I started the business due to excessive sales on credit. I have learned to balance. Yeah, sales on credit is also a lesson that we do teach, credit management in our Improve Your Business program. Improve Your Business is definitely a second part. Start Your Business is the first part. Improve Your Business, the second part, and the third part is Expand Your Business. So under Improve Your Business, we talk about the credit, how to manage your creditors. Grax, in consultancy business, you expect clients to sign up ASAP, but this is not the case. Clients take time to sign up, so the business gets stained on cash flow. You cannot pay our overheads in time. Yes, so what we say is that always remember, when you call up a free session, maybe to showcase your business, 25% of people will respond, will ask questions, will look interested. Of the 25%, 5% of the 25% are the ones who will sign up. So if you want 10 people to sign up, remember that is 5% of the population that attended your sessions. So if you're only meeting 10 people, so what is that 5%? Is 0 point something. So maybe if you met 10 people, maybe no one will sign up. So make sure you meet over 100 people so that at least you have at least 10, between 5 to 10 people signing up. Always have those calculations. We do teach in our sales and marketing program there. Human resource issues at work. Awesome. Thank you, Ashley, thanks. So those are responses that have come through, and I'm happy to hear that. So what is resilience then? Let's first define it even before we go ahead. It is the ability to withstand, recover, and grow in the face of adversity, challenges, or stress. It involves adapting to difficult situations, bouncing back from setbacks, and continuing to pursue goals despite obstacles. Resilience, resilient individuals don't avoid difficulties, but instead they learn from them and they find ways to cope and emerge stronger and more capable of handling future challenges. And that is in both career and entrepreneurship. So what you're seeing here from the first paragraph, your ability to withstand and recover and grow is what we call resilience. And as a career person, as a business person, it's very, very important to be able to address those difficulties and bounce back. So the number of times you bounce back is up to you. So let's look at some 10 key skills that you need to have. One is adaptability in both career and entrepreneurship, the ability to adapt to changing circumstances. If you're in employment and maybe there is a change of your boss, you have changed departments, adapt, be flexible, evolve, transform. Like somebody talked about technology. If that new department requires you to adapt some new technologies and use new computer skills, just be ready for that. And if you do not know, go back, learn something. So you need to adapt. Emotional intelligence is also very key. In fact, the most important here, because you need definitely to understand and manage your emotions as well as empathizing with others. Sometimes when, let's say, you're employed and you're moved to a different department, you may not welcome that, but there's a reason why you are moved to that new department. There's a skill that your boss has identified that you have, and therefore just be calm, just hold your horses and be able to converse properly. If there's something you're not clear about, ask for clarity and be able to communicate effectively and build some strong relationships. Remember, the more you move from one department to another, or if you're an entrepreneur and you find your COVID environment has come in, you have to work online and you've never worked online, just take that as a new challenge and learn to build more relationships in terms of who is this who can help you navigate the new environment. Just build those, welcome new ideas, new people, share what you know, ask questions, and be calm and ask. Ensure you respond calmly and constructively in any situation. Even when the other person is screaming at you, always use that. Count up to 10. I remember the former president, Moi Kibaki, used to say, count up to 10 before you respond, especially when there are harsh comments made against you. The third one is a growth mindset. Always remember that challenge is an opportunity for growth. So a growth mindset is a belief that abilities and intelligence can be developed through effort, learning, and persistence. Embracing a growth mindset enables you to view challenges as opportunities to grow rather than obstacles. And this skill is particularly important for facing setbacks and seeing them as temporary and encourages perseverance and growth. By the way, as an entrepreneur, it's a must you have a growth mindset. You have no option about that because circumstances will change. In fact, weekly, monthly, you find new challenges in terms of the customers you're facing, in terms of the environment you're operating in. The government may come up with new tax regimes, may come up with the new hurdles that you need to manage. You just need to consult. If it's tax issues, get a tax consultant. If it's a business issue, it's a process issue, costing problem, get a financial coach. If it's a business growth problem and maybe a marketing problem, just get somebody who can handhold you. This environment of Live Your Dreams is extremely good. In fact, when it was opening, I met people who were actually, introducing their businesses. And that is so important. Just make sure that you are speaking about what you do every day to at least one person on a daily basis. You have 5 per week at a minimum. But if you can do more than that, some people are even doing up to 100 per week. So just make sure that you have that growth mindset and you are positive and focusing on a positive agenda going forward. The fourth item is about time management. Effective time management is essential in maintaining productivity and avoid burnout. There are people who clamp too much onto their business and they get burnt out. I met some coaches who were having too many coaches in a day. Within a month, they were actually almost collapsing. So just balance between your personal life and your business. So whether juggling multiple projects at work or balancing various responsibilities as an entrepreneur, prioritizing tasks, setting clear goals, and managing your time effectively helps you stay focused and resilient, even when deadlines are tight and demands are high. So always have what goal are you trying to achieve? Make sure you divide those goals into small chunks, weekly, monthly, yearly. There's a book written by Brian Tracy. It's called Eating That Frog, something, Eat That Frog. I've read it like 4 times. It really helps you in prioritizing your tasks. Which ones are key? Which ones can you delegate? Their mundane tasks. Which ones, and what can you do to be able to just focus on the biggest frog early in the morning? Meaning eating that frog early in the morning means hitting on the most important and huge tasks as a first or as a priority. I would recommend that you read that book. You can just Google it. It's downloadable actually even from the website or from internet. And it will help you prioritize and be able to manage your time much better. Decision making, strong decision making skills are crucial in both career and business settings. Resilient individuals can assess situations quickly, weigh pros and cons, and they make informed decisions even under pressure. So make sure that the fact that you're under pressure doesn't Eat That Frog. Yes, that's the title of the book. Thanks, Peter. Okay, I was trying to read those messages. Yes, so decision making. Be clear in your mind what decisions you're making. And one thing I've always advised people is that have a book where you write all your thoughts. And then as the clarity comes in, start now elaborating on them, start prioritizing them. And at the end of the day, you'll find yourself a little bit more organized. And, also learn to use your calendar. There is Google Calendar, there, to book appointments and everything. And thirdly, if you normally have appointments, there is a free tools for, inviting people to book your calendar, like calendly.com. It's a free tool. They will just sign up there. It will go into your calendar and they will actually block sections of your calendar. So that way you become a lot more organized. So using technology and the tools that are available to help you in managing your time and even prioritizing and making informed decisions for your business growth or even your career moves is important. In fact, the last statement here is about your career move. If you plan to retire maybe in the next 5 years, what are you doing today towards that direction? Or if you plan to move from the business or from the career that you are in, change your career or even change your employer, what are these you're doing? There are so many tools. There are also coaches and mentors that can help you make that decision. The sixth item is about networking. Like, for example, in this forum, we are actually doing some sort of networks. The fact that we're introducing each other to ourselves and what we do, it's a starting point. Just make sure that you go out there and you create more networks, you join more networks, and be able to share your ideas. So building and maintaining a strong professional network provides support, opportunities, and resources when you need them most. Networking is not just about making connection, it's about cultivating relationships that can offer guidance, mentorship, collaboration, and a well-connected professional or entrepreneur is more likely to thrive in tough times thanks to the support of insights in their networks. Because once you have networks and you're having a challenge, you'll always have 1 or 2 people that you can share that challenge with. And they may have some pointers as to how you can actually get out of where you are stuck. So keep that networking going on. Yeah, invite more people. If you meet somebody there and you have this forum every Monday, ensure you invite them for the Power Monday so that they are also able to gain from you. And the more you help people, one thing I've also learned is that the more I give people, the more I give them referrals, the more I share new ideas without even charging, the more they remember me and they even recommend people to me. So give, and never be shy to give. If you become stingy, sometimes even you get stuck. Just give referrals, share ideas, and see all that coming back to you as a bonus, right? The number 7 is a problem solving. Yeah, it's a skill that you need. The ability to think critically and solve problems effectively is a cornerstone for resilience. And in any career or business, unexpected challenges will arise. Resilient individuals approach problems with a solutions-oriented mindset, breaking down issues into manageable parts and creatively finding ways to overcome them. And this skill ensures that obstacles are met with action rather than inaction. So problem solving skills, it's always very, very important. And the more organized you are, the more you realize that you're able to break down that problem into chewable chunks. Instead of seeing a huge elephant in front of you, you're able to see small pieces of problems that you can solve that will eventually solve the bigger problem. So always write down, what is this you want to achieve? What obstacles are you facing? And those obstacles, can you please break them down into small pieces and see what you're able to do now, what you can actually ask for help from your mentors or from a group like this. Yeah. What is this, and who can actually support you? If you are good at networking, you've created good networks, you cannot miss 2 or 3 people that you can share with that big part that is actually holding you back. And somehow you're able to resolve your problem slowly by slowly. Do not drown by looking at a problem as so huge and and you start now shying away and getting depressed. Don't do that. Just try a network, share with ideas, break down that. And then sometimes when you break down the problem, you realize it's not as big as you thought it was. So this is also a very key skill to have when you want to get out of problems. The other point is about self-discipline, which involves staying focused on long-term goals, even when short-term temptations or setbacks arise. Whether it's consistently showing up to work on your business and sticking to your career plan, development, and avoiding distractions, self-discipline keeps you on track and fosters resilience, and it enables you to maintain momentum even when motivation wanes. So this is very important. When you're thinking through your ideas, switch off those mobile phones, keep it away, your radio, your TV, just switch them off and think through things with clarity. Make sure you have set aside some, especially every week, set aside at least 2 hours or so just for thinking through and reorganizing your calendar, reorganizing your thought process, and be disciplined to ensure that all this is focused to your long-term goals. There are many distractions that will come your way, but just help, try and avoid those distractions. There are many distractions. I have videos on my YouTube channel, Lucy Munga Brands, on YouTube, and you can see how I've talked about that particular topic in there. Communication, clarity of communication and effective communication is essential to overcoming challenges in both career and entrepreneurial. So being able to express your thoughts, your needs, your concerns helps prevent misunderstanding, fosters collaboration, and builds strong relationships. In fact, our poet today, this morning, Ms. Mora, was very clear with her poem. In fact, she also said that she learned to communicate and be clear in this particular group. And I would encourage you to make sure every Monday you're there so that you can also gain the skills that you're looking for. So strong communication skills allows you to advocate for yourself, negotiate better outcomes, and resolve conflicts constructively. And in fact, for those clients that are perhaps not responding, maybe there's something they have not understood. Maybe what you express yourself in your conversation, what you wrote in that proposal is still not clear to that person. And maybe that is the only reason why they have not signed up. So if you could go back to them and ask, what is this that I have not communicated properly in this particular proposal, and what clarity do you require on this? Maybe you may find them signing up. You never know. And final one is the optimism. Maintaining a positive outlook, even in face of adversity, is a powerful resilient skill. Being optimistic, please never speak negative of yourself. There's so many people who keep saying, I can't do this. In fact, I'm not good at this. Forget about those things that you're not good at. Just have a positive outlook. Be optimistic. Don't, because optimism does not mean ignoring difficulties. It means believing in your ability to overcome them. And optimistic people are more likely to take proactive steps towards solutions, motivate themselves and others, and stay focused on their goals. This mindset not only enhances personal resilience, but also inspires confidence in those around you. Remember, which people would you want to be with? Is it the people who are always complaining and talking negatively, or is it the human beings that are always so optimistic, and even where they're having difficulties? Have you ever even met somebody in hospital and they're so positive, but you who has visited them in hospital, you can see their situation is not that good? That person will most likely heal and get out of that hospital because of their optimism, their positive mindset, and the things they're feeding their mind with. So what we do in life and how we position our mind is what actually makes us win or fail. So optimism is the 10th key skill that you need to be able to get out of where you are stuck. So without further ado, I hope I haven't spoken too fast. Those are the 10 points I wanted to discuss today about what it is that you need to be able to manage your career and your entrepreneurial capabilities to build your business and grow in your career and manage resilience. Thank you so much, Peter. That is the end of my presentation. Any questions?
Yeah, let's put our questions on the chat. Let's put our questions on the chat. Thank you very much, Lucy. And one of the biggest steps I love taking when it comes to resilience is that last one. Positive, I call it positive expectation. And that I was taught like 10 years ago when I was just more than 10 years ago when I was starting up, that our results are always determined by three key things, and one of them is positive expectation. And for that reason, I love to say that you can't get what you don't expect. It's somebody says only expectant mothers deliver. So we must learn to, whether we are going through whatever the problem, we expect that things are going to be better at some point. So that optimism is very good. In positive psychology, we also learn about positive imagination. We can choose to imagine the best. So there is a question there from Eric: how do you deal with Sumbua PE class? I don't know whether what PE really means here, but generally, I think that troublesome clients. Uh,
Yes, let me address that one from Eric first. Um, for me, any potential client who is speaking, especially those very negative ones, have always ended up being the best clients. Why? They're seeking clarity, that they're expressing themselves in a not very nice way. Yeah, but they're seeking for clarity. And if they haven't purchased from me, then it's my it's me to actually calm down, use my emotional intelligence piece of me, yeah, to manage them. Okay, sometimes some of them have their own personal issues and maybe they want an outlet. And because I'm a coach by profession, I'm able to see whether this person is actually a client or is somebody who is looking for an outlet for their emotional issues. And I'll put on my coaching hat and I'll be able to ask one or two questions, and perhaps I direct them maybe to a therapist or somebody like that, because they were not here for business. They were just here, they just found somebody they can pour their heart to. Yeah. The other item is, if they're really asking questions about what I'm offering, but okay, in a harsh language, I will somehow be able to calm them down. So this emotional intelligence piece is so important, especially when you are dealing with people. Because nowadays, for example, a lot of people have no money, they have not had business for so long, their wives and their children have to go to school. So they're having issues they're dealing with. Let's put on that hat and empathize. And now trying to calm them down, and maybe even yeah, they'll calm down, and perhaps they'll come out and speak about what exactly the problem is, because what they're saying right now may not be the problem, it's just the symptoms. You can help them now dig deeper and speak out what the issue is.
I know one thing for sure, that's true, Eric. There are different types of clients, and you will always need to know. One thing I love and I've learned is the way you deal with one customer is not the way you're going to deal with another one, because every relationship is unique. Every relationship is unique. And then in like part of our sales training is in identifying prospects. You need to be able to know who is a prospect, and we love saying that some are not necessarily prospects, they could be suspects. So it's good to know. Then the people who've bought, who are clients, who are customers, they've already bought for you from you, then there is a likelihood that they can buy from you again if the service was delivered well and their expectations were met or exceeded. So if there was a problem, there is always something we can do on our side, like you can be proactive into getting their own feedback, how could you improve and things like that, and forging that relationship. But if somebody hasn't bought, that's a different story. Yes, it's like fishing. We talk about fishing and hunting. If you're going to hunt, you're likely to be chasing animals away, and you spend more energy. So it's the fishing technology, fishing ideology, fishing philosophy. And I know there is a lot that people can discuss about that. We actually have a sales training that deals with that in details. There is this question from David Ndolo. How early should emotional intelligence be introduced within our education system? I am not sure whether it's been introduced or whether the question is when should it be introduced, when will it be introduced? I don't know what you get it, how you get it, Lucy.
Yes, emotional intelligence, it's largely us as parents who need to start from a child when that child is young. Remember that 2-year-old, terrible two, throwing tantrums. And you want to help that child manage their emotions. As parents, we have to start from there. Instead of beating up that child, let's take that child to be a grown-up like me and have a conversation, whether they're eloquent or not. And the moment you start having that conversation with that 2-year-old, they start understanding that instead of throwing tantrums and breaking cups, I can express myself and tell mom or tell dad that I have a problem of this nature. So we start as parents, we start mentoring these children, having those conversations, and then as that child grows and goes to school, you'll be surprised that there is a child that will even be seen to be more mature than all the others. At least I'm speaking from a parent's perspective. That's what I've done to my children. I have a 24-year-old and a 16-year-old, and that's what I've done. Yeah, I have conversations. I have board meetings with my daughters. Yeah, we sit down, and even business, like when I'm purchasing a property, I go and ask them, what do you think about this? 16-year-old gives me her ideas. So I'm opening up this child to other things and helping them, uh, instead of fighting back, is to open their minds to other environments, and that really helps them mature pretty fast and be able to manage their emotions.
Mm.
But
Thank
in
you.
school, I don't know whether that is done. I think most teachers, sometimes even we have to handle the teachers ourselves as parents. I'm sure if you're a parent, you have children in school, sometimes you need to help your child cope with that teacher that is not so good. I don't know what
True,
the
true.
government does think about it. Yeah.
True, true. Actually, I love seeing that our society today is in sort of what I call emotional breakdown, because Many people do not even know, even those adults, those people even in leadership positions. And I love to say there is a difference between being a leader and being in a leadership position. You have an office, but you're struggling with leadership. They need to, they themselves sometimes need to be taught how to handle themselves. So you've rightly put it. It's not in our education systems. It's probably not going to be there soon, though there is that topic they call, is it subject for social or life skills. There is need for parenting, upbringing, so that we have children who are fairly experienced in struggle. I saw this when we were in the university. Many of my generation were thinking that because they've struggled, they will not let their children struggle. That's a topic of another day. By the end of the day, these people don't know any problem. When they meet the real life, they break down. There is a question from Odhiambola. I knew he would love communication skills and those other ones because he's from communication. But his question is about business planning, which I believe may not be handled here. Odhiambola, we can talk about that one, Kando. What do you talk to Lucy? How do you plan with the rivals if you are going to open a business in toy? Yeah, then there is, I think we will only handle these two and then we close. This from Charles Mudui. How do you draw the thin line of emotional intelligence between home, where you deal with family, and career or business, where you deal with associates and clients? Generally, how do you prevent the friction between career and family challenges? Maybe you'll speak about that. We usually have what we call, people call it work-life balance. I really don't call it that, but I use that because it's a popular statement. We have life management and generally scheduling and how you can integrate. We love saying that there is no, and this is a debate that's going on in the scholarly circle. There is no difference between life. You are living at home, you are also living at work. So whether you are going to call, now I'm stopping to live, now it's work, and then life, it's a big debate. But Lucy, what would you like to say about that?
Okay, quick one, even for Thiambo. There is no business that has no competition. If you start a business that has no competition, like building rockets, you'll have no clients. So that's a positive part, that there is demand. It tells you there is demand, and therefore building a business plan is something, even Peter's team can help you do that, or even our ILO program on generate your business idea, we can come up with a business plan on that. Charles Muthui, on how to prevent friction between career and family. There's something for a long time in the career world. I was in the career world for like 30 years before I retired. Okay, I don't look retired, but yes. And there was something that's was always in the corporate world about work-life balance. There's nothing like work. It's not on a seesaw. It's not a work-life balance. It's whatever you do, let it be part and parcel of your life. So if you're putting that calendar I was talking about, and you're slotting spaces on that calendar on what you are to achieve today, always have a piece of it for yourself, a piece of it for your business, a piece of it for your family. It's up to you to know within 5 days, Monday to Friday, how much of this should I actually put in for my work? How much of it is for my family? How much of it is, and make it clear to your spouse, to your children, whatever it is. Sometimes even talk to them even if they don't understand. The things I tell my daughters, even when they were 10 years old, today now they understand what I was saying, but at least I planted a seed. So it's just have one calendar for everything, and balance, and have goals, monthly goals, weekly goals, and that's why I recommended that book. This perhaps will help you. That Brian Tracy's book. It may help you in prioritizing, and this particular friction will be reduced in the process. For Marvin, is there a decision process to follow before dismissing a prospect who is pushing back from a sales proposition? You see, in our coaching world, what we do is help you create your value proposition, and that value proposition is what put in the mind of that person that this value is worth this much. So they will not really push too hard when they can see the value that you're selling at that amount, right? So being clear on the value proposition when you're pitching your business is very, very key. And I'm sure even Peter can help you with drawing that value proposition, that pitch as a salesperson. Because always have a pitch. In fact, if you don't know how to modify it, just memorize it and just keep repeating it to yourself, and have one or two things that you use to expound on that pitch to be able to help the clients, potential clients, about understand what your business is all about. Yeah.
Thank you. Thank you very much. Yeah, we have to finish those questions. Thank you very much for that, Melvin. There is a module we call the selling process. The selling process helps you from the beginning, right from identifying prospects, all the way to the last process, the last step, which many people don't even deal with. They only know getting prospects and starting to pitch. But pitching is just part of the process. We have a 10-step process. So maybe that one can be handled at that point. Otherwise, you can waste a lot of your time, energy, which is always, I say, you are not wasting, you are just gaining some experience anyway. And somebody said, instead of getting frustrated, get fascinated. Find a reason to smile and get excited about it. Otherwise, Lucy, you can put your contacts there. Lucy is also a Rotarian. You can put your contacts in the chat. I'd like to could I invite Antonia to give us a vote of thanks? Lady Noel had some connection issues, so she got some destabilized. She got destabilized.
If I forget everything else, I'll not forget is that of being self-disciplined, because you can do everything else, but if you've not decided to be self-disciplined, then it may not be every other characteristics of a resilient person may not come to be. So that part of being disciplined and the way you've explained it, it really comes out very well. And also, I trust you'll be sharing this presentation for our review, and that we can continue learning. And I'm very sure this was just like an introduction, because I felt like you could go on and go on and go on, because your presentation is very well summarized, and we can really resonate with it. So thank you very much for giving us such a great knowledge and sharing that with us. We are sure we will look for you and give us more on this topic. And thank you to everybody who has a purpose to join Power Monday today. And we were more than 52, and we really thank God for creating that time. It's a real sacrifice, and we are really grateful because Power Monday is there because you are here. And thank you very much, even for the positive feedback that you are getting. Lucita, unajua tulikuwa na wewe tukianza huku, and I'm really grateful for that. And I can attest that whatever you're saying of the growth in communication, it's really a big thing, and it's something. And I can attest that you are a great woman. We are looking forward to a higher growth and higher levels of your career. Thank you very much, every other person, and not forgetting everyone who has put this in place, the Power Monday board, for making sure that we have great speakers like Lucy every other Monday, and every other person who always purpose to be here every morning. Thank you very much, and have a great day.
Thank you very much, Antonia. I was looking at, I think you've logged in into. So just to mention that we have a Power Monday WhatsApp group. If you'd like to join, then you can choose, you can fill in the form. I had put a link there. What happens is, Lucy talked about networking, and Eric here recently talked to us about networking. Through that, we are able to network, connect better, and create more meaningful relationships. Just last week, but one, I was talking to a lady with whom we met actually through Maurice. Maurice had invited me to talk to his team in Mombasa. And this lady came to our meet and greet. And just last week, she was telling me that, when I came to that meet and greet, I was struggling at some point in my career. But one contract I made there made me now to have a growth in my business, in my career. And today I am in charge of 32 countries. I was very much moved and happy. Just one meet and greet. We usually have at least 3 meet and greets. The next one is going to be a dinner, which is going to be on the last Friday of October. It will be an evening dinner, and we will have an opportunity again to connect, meet and greet in person. And we are shopping for a venue. It's going to be not more than 2,500. And I always love hearing such stories. Lucy was here, who met with also Anthony in this particular forum, and they're doing big business. I've met lots of people in this forum telling me how Power Monday has impacted them, not just Nancy. So we had put a link there through which people can join. Again, in these we always have every first Wednesday of the month. It's a live market day, so people log in like we logged in today and share about their businesses, and you can always join into that. Again, these discussions here, the sessions are usually uploaded on YouTube, the Power Monday YouTube channel, and you can always follow them there and even subscribe. I've put a link there. I've also put a link to Power Monday group